House of Representatives Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila yesterday officially dissolved the 9th Assembly, that is talking about the House of Representatives, and then in their plenary yesterday, they said they have considered over 2,000 bills and then 2,000 motions in the House, which some were dropped, some were withdrawn, some were rejected, and so on and so forth. Well, this is Nigeria Now on Equa Television International. And to do this program with me today is Joyce Jakarta.
I'm happy to be here. Good afternoon, Sambo Solomon.
Good afternoon.
Pleasant afternoon to our viewers out there.
Yes, and remember, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. You can do well to join us in this conversation. 9th Assembly officially dissolved yesterday. As
expected, Sambo Solomon, and over the weeks, we've seen immediately after the 2023 general elections how that battle for the position of the Senate President as well as the Speaker of the National Assembly has been up and about. A lot of people trying to pay their way into it because the 10th National Assembly is more like a mixture of variety, if you ask me, because you have people that emerge from different political parties and they made their way to the National Assembly, and they're expected to make up the 10th National Assembly. A lot of people, Nigerians, have expressed optimism looking at the 10th National Assembly comprising of people that emerge from different parties to be a National Assembly that is going to represent the voice of the people. And then we saw how that people are trying to lobby within APC, people talking about zoning, oh, it should go to the east, oh, it should go back to the south. Some are talking about the south, some are talking about the east, and the likes of Kalu, the likes of Godswill Akpabio, names are mentioned, even though some people from also the north are saying, no, it shouldn't be on that basis. The people have their own structure within the National Assembly and should be allowed to follow their own guidelines as well. You will know that a lot of people are saying, oh, the president will have a say in who becomes the Senate president. And then considering the fact that the APC have the majority, even though a lot of members they are saying, no, it's not about the party that has the majority, because those with the minority can come together and form a majority and decide to put someone there. But, well, Nigerians as a whole are looking out for National Assembly, the 10th National Assembly, to come up with, to be a voice of the people, to represent the people, not a National Assembly that will be a yes sir, yes sir. I know that a lot of people have expressed dismay with the 9th National Assembly that yesterday was dissolved by Femi Gbajabiamila, and then people talked about the fact that no, they were more of yes sir kind of National Assembly than the National Assembly that looks into the plight of the people. A lot of policies came up during their time, a lot of things happened, and then even while the people were crying and expressing dismay, more like nothing came out from it, even though some few individuals have maintained their position in standing for the people. But you know that when forces that are against you are many, it's difficult for you to like stand up and then defend yourself. But Nigerians will continue to call
the majority will always have their way, no matter how good.
My hope is that well, the 9th National Assembly have finished their tenure, but even though some of them, a lot of them have made it to the 10th National Assembly, we hope to have
officially House of Reps.
Yes, House of Reps, yes.
So I think Senate are considering Saturday for...
That's true. So we hope that at the end of the day, leaders that will emerge will think about leadership as service to the people, service from the heart to the people. It shouldn't just be about personal interest. Well, a lot of people tell you, hey, politics is about business, business of interest. If it doesn't pay you here, you go move to this other way. And no wonder I keep seeing people truncating from one political party to the other. But we look forward to a National Assembly representative that would truly stand by their name and their calling, that would represent the plight of the people. And at the end of the day, posterity, when they look back and think about them, they will applaud them.
I agree with you, because you know, like you rightly said, some Nigerians, some are giving them pass marks, some are saying, you know, as far as they are concerned, they feel like the House of the National Assembly should be scrapped in order to save money, because as far as they are concerned, they just selected some people to just waste federal government money on them because they don't see what they are being created for constitutionally. You know, they are to create balance in governance, but for the past years, what they saw is just yes sir, like you said, you know, bringing this, approve, and let's go there. What's for me? Is there anything for me? Okay, yes sir, I approve, so that I will get my cut.
And you know that Nigerian parliamentarians are one of the highest paid in the world, talking about 13 point something million naira, like humongous allowances among others, and no wonder everybody wants to just get there at the detriment of a lot of service providers, doctors, teachers, professors, amongst like many other people out there, and in general the public, the masses, because these are people that are asking for just evidence of democracy. Like, can we have road? Can we have education? Can we have a health sector that is working, and all of that? These people keep sharing humongous amounts of money. You recall that recently we talked about these allowances, that the severance allowance. That Nigerians keep crying, can we cut the cost of governance, at least, so we'll have people that are really dedicated to service coming out to vie for positions? Because if cost of governance is high, then everybody will want to go there, and no wonder we'll see people killing people just to get to the National Assembly. Well, we hope that going forward, we are really optimistic. Nigeria is our country, is our only country, that things will get better, and like we'll always maintain, it begins with us electing the right people.
Sure. Well, fuel subsidy removal, Tinubu and the state governors, you know, to work on palliatives. Now the word palliative is surfacing. You know, when you say palliative, people remember during the COVID, you know, and how some palliatives were being shared, you know. Some were kept for like a year plus, you know, thinking of election like 2023 that they will share. And then you saw how some palliatives, you know, were just were rotten, you know, when they were out for people to use it, you know, it's something that they can no longer use. And anyway, I'm just seeing the word palliative.
Well,
is that kind of palliative that will be coming our way due to this fuel subsidy, you know, to cushion the effects? That's what, you know, their meeting was yesterday, you know, to see how the Federal Executive Council and then the Economic Council, you know, talking about the governors of the 36 states, you know, meeting with them, seeing how they will prefer a solution.
When you spoke about palliative, yeah, it took memory back to 2020 during the COVID-19. And why do we have that surfacing? Because people were hungry, people were restricted from moving, and then a lot of people don't even have access to food, getting food and all of that. And then there was the initiative of bringing palliatives to the people, and that is to just ease some of these sufferings and pains among the people. And in 2023, hearing the word again will make you want to think that, oh, again, there's suffering. Again, there is pain. Again, there is hunger. I listened to one of the government representative, Mr. Honorable Alake, and he was talking about the fact that, oh, he doesn't even want to use the word palliative. Same thing with the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, the governor of Kwara State, Abdul Rahman. While he was addressing the press, he was talking about the fact that, oh, he would like to use the word incentive rather than palliative, because the word has been, over time, been abused. We saw how that palliatives were hoarded even during the COVID-19. So he said he preferred to use the word incentive. Now, as Nigerians grapple with the aftershock of the fuel subsidy removal, you recall that during the inaugural speech, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, oh, fuel subsidy is gone. And immediately Nigerians were faced with that shock. A lot of filling stations began closing, people hiking prices and all of that. Even when we saw that in the budget of the 2023, there was provision between January and then June. And then just within May, the following day after the announcement, we saw how the prices had already hiked. Fuel was selling between 250 to even 700 naira, and people were like, oh, how can we meet, how can the inauguration of the president bring this kind of situation upon the people. People were optimistic that, oh, it's a change, there's going to be transition, and so they're expecting that, even though the fuel subsidy was something that a lot of people have kicked up about. In fact, almost all the presidential candidates during their campaign emphasized on the removal of fuel subsidy, anchoring on the fact that this fuel subsidy that Nigeria pay about 4 trillion naira annually is just for the benefit of some few individuals. The same petrol that federal government pays subsidy for, it is being stolen and sold at other international markets, and at the end of the day, Nigerians don't even get enough. And then so it is not even for the benefit of people. We keep paying for subsidy what we don't even make as revenue and all of that, living indebted, and so it is better to actually remove the subsidy. And the conversation is not even about the removal of the subsidy, but the pain, cushioning the pain that like the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, was making illustration. It's just like meeting someone with toothache and just plugging it out without trying to give some anesthesia and other things that will ease the pain. You know, that's what usually is done when you go to remove a tooth. Like, they do that so that you won't feel the pain. And that was the expectation, that when these people are not expecting that, oh, it was not going to be removed, but even if you're going to remove it, there should be some things in place that will cushion the pain of the fuel subsidy. We can't, at a time where over 100 million Nigerians are living in poverty, 33 million Nigerians are living in poverty, like more than half of the number living in poverty, just remove fuel subsidy without cushioning the effects on the people, and then expect that Nigerians will clap their hands. Of course, prices of things in the market will go up, and that means that more people would put into poverty. I was thinking, I said, if people that are on the average, living averagely, like they can afford 3 square meal at least, have a place to stay, can eat, and all of that, are feeling the impact of this decision, then what about the poorest of the poor? What about the people that are there, that barely have, like, maybe 2 square meal or all of that,
even 1 square meal,
or one, how do they survive? You get it? So I think that the president now saying that, oh, NEC, go and think of cushioning this effect, is a good one, even though the deed has been done already. And then for the past how many days, like I think about 10 days now, Nigerians have faced the impact of this announcement. Good decision, methodology, as far as I'm concerned, is not really good, because when we always talk about policy in Nigeria, policies, always good policies on paper, but most times we don't look at methodology. As important as decision like this is, announcement like that, and then I think it's not really sensitive enough. I've listened to the president's inaugural speech, beautiful rendition if you ask me. I know that in his speech he talked about carrying everybody along. He's not going to be dictator or like a dictator, but he will always consult, his administration will consult, and people expected to see that in place. But such announcement does not, it contradicts that place where you said you will consult and all of that. But the deed has been done. And then yesterday we saw meeting of the NEC with the president, and it was on that meeting he talked about the fact that yes, poverty is facing Nigerians in the eyes, and he said it is not hereditary, but the society put the people in such in a place like that, situation like that. And he called on all the governors to see how they can put modalities in place to cushion the effect of this subsidy removal. The NEC, of course, is made up of the 36 state governors, the central bank governor, and then some representative of the federal government, chaired by the Vice President Kashim Shettima. And he spoke about the fact that there is need for them to come up with measures to cushion the pain of the subsidy removal on the people. And this is just as the Trade Union Congress talked about the fact that the federal government need to raise the minimum wage to 200,000 naira, and they gave them dates. That's June 19, and I was asking myself that the last review of the minimum wage, which was supposed to be 30,000 naira, up till today, as we speak, a lot of states have not even implemented that. And then this one that
we have 18 states owing salaries
and all of that. Local government, when you go down and then you hear what people are going through, you begin to ask a lot of questions. So it's a good one on the president calling on the NEC to see how that they can cushion all the cushion the effect, even though they said it is just for the main time, and then they are really considering the poorest of the poor. And we've seen how the other state government have already kickstarted. Kwara State, they are talking about workers going for 3 days and then they stay off, and this is in an approach to just cushion the effect.
Kano State providing buses,
and then some are also considering increasing the minimum wage. We also saw how that the marketers, petroleum marketers, have also said that they are going to be, after meeting with the president, they are also going to be giving about 100 50-seater buses that was going to be using CNG and then compressed diesel, just to help cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal. Good one. We pray that and hope that they keep to it, and there are other sectors that are suffering. I recall how that the president during the meeting spoke about all of them, the members of the NEC, keeping aside their differences, from different political parties, of course, and all of that, but dropping their political differences and thinking of Nigeria as a whole, thinking of the citizens as a whole, because like I said earlier on, poverty is not inherited, but it is the society that brought about that. So he encouraged them to ensure that they fight this poverty, they cushion the effect of this first subsidy removal, so that at the end of the day, the whole people are going to be happy.
But thinking about this oil marketers, you know, backing the subsidy removal, yes, it's okay. And the governors, you know, still backing, you know, the government policy, you know, on the subsidy removal. You know, subsidy removal, I think, is something that I think we discuss it in this station like time without number. I can't count. And then we discussed areas of importance whereby it's necessary. We feel yes, government should do something about the subsidy removal, just like you laid the preamble talking about all those candidates, you know, which media people ask them concerning what are they going to do with this issue of subsidy, because you talk about 4 trillion, you know, going into hands that even the federal government are lamenting who they are paying those money, you know, too. And the thing surprised me. You are the one paying the money, and you are the one complaining that the money is going to the wrong hands. I can't really, you know, balance this particular information that is coming. And I ask, why are they not talking about looking at the people that are collecting this money all this while? But they are very fast in removing the subsidy because a lot of money is being spent there, and you're complaining that the money is going to the wrong hand. What is the first thing to do? Is it not to go after those people that are taking money that is not supposed to? They are not supposed to collect. I'm just worried.
A lot of questions, Sambo Solomon, if you ask me, and it's just uncalled for that you transaction like that, no, like people are not accountable, or you see leaders in office that are not accountable. It's rather unfortunate. And I think the point of change is the point of taking responsibility. Again, one thing that's stands out for me in the meeting or in the conversation between the president and then the members of NEC is the fact that they accepted the fact that yes, poverty is staring us in the face, and then some of the plans is to see how that we can transit from depending on fuel alone, and then seeing how we can adopt like some like other form of energy, like other countries like Egypt, like whose government have actually converted mass transit vehicles to run on compressed natural gas. Others use CNG, others use electricity. And I think when we do that, it's going to help in cushioning the effect beyond just saying, oh, well, civil servants should go 3 days. Nigeria, everybody is faced with this aftermath shock of the first subsidy removal. Giving 3 days to civil servants. What about the other people that are not civil servants? Of course, you need to move from one place to the other. So just like other countries like Egypt and others that have adopted the compressed natural gas and then CNG or electricity, we can adopt that for mass transit, so that because whether you like it or not, you move from this state to another state, transferring of goods and services, so we don't have high, because as we speak right now, transport fares have increased. So I think we can also consider this transition, just like we're told that they are also looking at that. And beyond promises, beyond meetings and fruitless meetings, Nigerians want to see things, actions. We want to see actions being put in place so that these effects will not put more people into poverty, but rather we'll see that other sector like education, because that's the only tool that you can use to fight poverty. And I think they admitted in that meeting as well, see how that people can be returned to school, how people can be educated, how we can make our educational system work again, because this issue of strike agreement and not meeting agreement have continued to make us go backward. So we've seen how our talented youth, young people, professionals keep moving to other countries, and like they are appreciated out there. Why not invest in your country in all these sectors, and let's have these young people work and think about how we will blossom as a nation.
Prefer solution to our own challenges.
So the whole of it is that we just need government that would think of the people and
I think that's the reason why the president now is looking towards EU, you know, the European Union, you know, to support in fighting poverty and insecurity.
Nigeria on its own, we have tried for decades to see how that the issue of insecurity can be dealt with, but you agree with me that we're faced with it in the eyes. Every day you wake up, if it's not kidnapping, it is kidnapping for ransom, it is bandit. If it's not Boko Haram, it is some unknown gunmen that are attacking and then killing people. Recently, it was Mangu here in Plateau State, Riom, how that over 100 people were killed just within how many days. Today, people are killed the next day and then nothing is being done. Like I've always said, we cannot say, oh, we can deal with our situation, nobody should come in, and yet we are doing nothing about it. So we need international support. If there's need for that, let's give in way, because some of the complaints that are coming from our security personnel is that, oh, we are being sent to some of these places, we don't have the equipment that these gunmen or non-gunmen in quotes are having. So whatever needs to be done before in Nigerian security go to other countries to fight, but today, like that is not really the case. We have situations currently for over a decade, we have been struggling with issues of insecurity. So I think we need, and if you don't deal with the issue of security or insecurity, then there's no way you can deal with poverty as well. Because right now, some of these farmers cannot go to their farms, and before, as a result of that, prices of food will inflate and all of that. So until the issue of security, insecurity is dealt with, then poverty will be dealt with. We can go to school and study and then fight or serve as weapon to all of this. So if you ask me, if there need be, the situation is glaring, we are faced with it. So it's not a bad idea that we have international body coming in to help.
I respect the president, you know, for admitting that truly we need help. You know, all this while we've been playing with the issue of insecurity, and then people calling for help, and then some are saying, no, we can handle our situation. It's an in-house thing. We know where they are. We know where they are coming from. We can handle it. And then, like you said, over a decade, we've been just going back and forth. You know, the issue is really eating us deep. And you know, wherever there is hunger, insecurity increase, because they work hand in hand, poverty and insecurity. You know, because people we try every means to see that they survive, and if the situation is not balanced, you find it difficult. Even the country will be brought to her knees, because you won't see the country progressing. You know, and I feel, yes, at this moment we truly need help, and if we are looking for help, let's look for help in the right place. I think that will help.
Like I said earlier on, the point of change is taking responsibility. So unless we say, yes, we identify that we have a problem, we need help, then nobody will come to your help. So good one on the part of the president.
Well, Joyce, that's the much we can take for today in Nigeria now. Thank you for doing this with me.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, and viewer there, we sincerely appreciate you for staying with us. Let's do this tomorrow, same time, same station. Thank you, and God bless you.